My name is Alex. With deep pain and trauma in my heart, I'm sharing this story. I wish I could erase that night from my memory. I wish I'd stayed home, made up an excuse, or just trusted the gut feeling that tugged at me when I received the invitation. But I didn't. And now I live with nightmares that won't let go. It all began on a Saturday night. My friend Tyler was turning 23 and decided to throw a house party at his uncle's old vacation home in the outskirts of Vermont. The place was isolated, surrounded by thick woods and barely reachable by car. Tyler hyped it up as a chill birthday bash with old friends and a few drinks. There were 10 of us in total, most of us college buddies. Tyler greeted everyone at the door with a huge grin and an open beer. The house was rustic, with creaky floors and faded wallpaper. A large wooden table sat in the dining room, and the air smelled faintly of old dust and pine. Everything was normal at first. Music played, drinks flowed, people laughed. But around 11 p.m., when the wind outside picked up and the power flickered briefly, things started to get weird. Tyler came into the living room holding a box. Okay, hear me out, he said, obviously tipsy but still clear-headed. We're gonna play a game. Everyone groaned jokingly. This better not an Ouija board thing, one of the girls, Jessica, said, rolling her eyes. Tyler shook his head. Nah, it's called The Last Candle. We used to do it as kids, just for fun, but trust me, it's creepy as hell. He opened the box. Inside were 10 black candles and a lighter. We each take one candle, Tyler explained. We light them, sit in a circle, and place our candle in front of us. Then we close our eyes and say the name of the guardian. If your candle goes out, something is supposed to happen. Everyone laughed, everyone except me. What's the guardian? I asked, trying to sound casual. It's just a story, a made-up spirit that watches over the candles, Tyler said with a grin. If it likes you, your candle stays lit. If not, well, we'll find out. People were intrigued, some were scared, but the thrill of the unknown had its pull. The lights were turned off. We formed a circle on the wooden floor, each of us with a candle in front of us. Tyler lit them one by one. Now, he said, close your eyes and repeat after me. Guardian of flame, keeper of night, show your will with candlelight. We repeated the words. The room felt colder. I peeked once, just once, and saw that everyone's eyes were closed. But then I noticed something. Jessica's candle was flickering. Then it went out, a beat of silence. All right, who blew that out? Jessica snapped, her voice trying to sound amused, but it trembled. No one did, Tyler said, staring at the candle. The windows are closed. There's no wind in here. People chuckled nervously, but Jessica wasn't amused. She stood up and walked to the kitchen for a drink. That's when we heard her scream. We all jumped to our feet and ran after her. The kitchen was empty. The back door was wide open. No sign of Jessica. Just the cold wind blowing in from the darkness outside. Jess! Tyler called out, stepping onto the porch. Nothing, just trees and silence. We searched the yard with flashlights but found nothing. No footprints, no signs of a struggle. Just gone. We went back inside, shaken, but trying to rationalize it. Maybe she got scared and ran off to her car. Maybe it was a prank, but her purse and phone were still inside. Some wanted to call the police, but there was no signal. The landline in the house dead. Tyler said it always worked before. Then out of fear or foolishness, someone suggested we finish the game. We never closed the circle, Tyler said, face pale. If this is something real, maybe we pissed it off. Against my better judgment, we did it again. 8 candles now. The second time, Ben's candle went out. He tried to laugh it off, but his face was white as a sheet. He didn't disappear like Jessica, not right away. An hour later, we found him in the attic, hanging by a cord, eyes bulging, lips blue. No one had gone up there. The attic door had been locked. Panic set in. We tried to leave, but the front door wouldn't open. I mean, really wouldn't open, like it had been sealed shut. Windows were the same. Even smashing them did nothing. The glass cracked but refused to break. That's when we realized we were trapped. We stayed together, refusing to light another candle. But the candles we had lit earlier began going out, one by one, on their own. Each time one went out, someone vanished. Screams echoed from rooms we hadn't entered. Blood trails led to locked doors. Some were dragged away before our eyes, pulled into shadows by invisible hands. I survived because I never let my candle go out. I stayed in the corner of the dining room, guarding it, praying, watching. In the morning, the sun came up, the doors opened, the windows worked again. The house was empty. Just me and 9 candles, burnt down to blackened stumps. The police found no bodies, no signs of foul play. They assumed I was traumatized, possibly on drugs. I was taken to a psychiatric ward for evaluation. But I know what I saw. I know what happened. And I know that game wasn't a game. If anyone ever offers to play the last candle, please don't. You won't win. You don't survive by being brave. You survive by never letting your candle die. I should have listened to my mother's warning, but I thought she is refraining me from mingling with my peers. But now I understand better. It all started on January 25th, which is my best friend's birthday party. Her name is Mia. We've been friends since junior high. She's always been the bold one, the loud one, the type of girl who turns silence into a performance. So when she said she was renting a big vintage Airbnb for her 22nd birthday, I wasn't surprised. She loved old things, Victorian style, dusty chandeliers, the creak of old wood. It's got a hidden library, she told me over the phone. Creepy portraits, weird wallpaper, but the best part, it has 13 bedrooms. I laughed, that's bad luck.
That's why it's perfect, she giggled.
I should have backed out. I remembered my mother's exact words before I left. Not all places welcome the living. Some doors were never meant to be opened. She's always been overly spiritual, raised in old Catholic tradition, filled with stories about cursed homes and wandering souls. But I went anyway. I told her it was just a party. The house was in a quiet Massachusetts suburb, big, worn and covered in ivy. The kind of place you'd expect to see in an old ghost movie. There were 15 of us in total, a mix of Mia's friends from school, a few of her cousins, and her boyfriend, Noah. We arrived in the afternoon, each picking a room upstairs. I got room 6. That night after dinner, we gathered in the ornate living room with wine and music. The fireplace glowed, and for a while everything was perfect. Until someone asked, "Hey, where's room 13? We all paused. Mia looked confused. "There is a room 13, she said. "The listing said 13 rooms, but I haven't found it yet." Everyone scattered upstairs, half drunk and giggling, knocking on doors and counting. "Room 12, room 14, someone called out. "Where the hell is 13? We searched for over 30 minutes, and then someone found it. Behind a dusty bookcase in the hallway, there was a narrow door, painted the same color as the wall, almost invisible unless you knew where to look. There was no handle, just a keyhole and a number carved in the center, 13. "Okay, now this is spooky," Noah said. Mia grinned, more excited than scared. "This is exactly what I wanted." She found an old brass key in the drawer of her bedroom and tried it. Click! The door creaked open, releasing a smell like damp earth and rust. The hallway behind it was narrow, the wallpaper torn and stained. The air felt heavy, like walking into a place that hadn't seen light in 100 years. Inside was a room no bigger than a storage closet, lit by a single broken chandelier swaying slowly on its chain. The bed was old, mattress rotting. A mirror hung crooked on the wall, and in it, something was off. We all looked into it, expecting to see our reflections, but we didn't. In the mirror, we were all smiling, but none of us were. "Okay, hell no," someone muttered and walked out. But Mia, being Mia, stepped in fully. "Let's take a photo in here," she said. I hesitated, but she grabbed my hand and pulled me in with her. The others followed reluctantly. She took a selfie with everyone behind her. And that's when the chandelier above us stopped swaying, dead still. And in the mirror, a 13th person appeared. He stood in the corner. The 13th person in the mirror stood in the far corner, tall, motionless, wearing a dark coat. His face was pale and completely blank, like an old porcelain mask. No eyes, no mouth, just smooth skin where his features should be. Everyone froze. "Who the hell is that?" someone whispered. We turned around. The corner behind us was empty. When we looked back at the mirror, he was closer. Mia dropped her phone. The screen cracked. That was the signal. We all bolted from room 13, laughing nervously, trying to shake it off, blaming reflections, angles, shadows. But deep down, we were rattled. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that faceless figure, about how still it was, how real it looked. I told myself it was a trick of the light. But then I heard footsteps in the hallway outside my room. Soft, barefoot. I got up and peeked through the door crack. Nothing. But at exactly 3:13 a.m., my room's mirror fogged over, as if someone breathed on it from the inside. When I stepped closer, words began to appear written in the fog. "Let me in." I slammed the bathroom door and stayed under the covers till dawn. The next morning, Noah was gone. We thought he went into town, but his shoes were still at the door, his phone on the charger, his toothbrush wet. We searched the entire house, even room 13. It was empty. But when Mia looked at her cracked phone screen to delete the selfie we took the night before, Noah wasn't in the picture anymore. The spot where he stood, just a black void, a blur of static. We tried to call the police, but none of our phones had signal anymore. Even the landline gave nothing but static. Panic set in. By sunset, 2 more people had vanished, Rachel and Josh. One went to use the bathroom and never came back. The other was taking a nap when we found his room empty, sheets pulled off like someone had been dragged. That night, the mirrors started cracking one by one. Every time someone looked at one, they screamed. They said they saw themselves smiling but not moving. And in the background, the faceless man, always closer. We tried to smash the mirrors, but they wouldn't break. That's when Mia confessed. She had done something. 3 weeks earlier, when she booked the house, she received a strange email from the host. A warning: do not open room 13. Do not disturb the watcher. She ignored it. She thought it was part of the house's aesthetic, even laughed about it with Noah. But now he was gone. Everyone wanted to leave, but the front door wouldn't open. The windows wouldn't shatter. Some of us tried climbing out the attic, but found nothing but endless fog surrounding the house. No street, no neighbors, no sky. Just gray. That night I stayed with Mia. We were both crying, both shaking. We heard whispers through the walls. And then came the scratching. On the other side of the bedroom mirror, scrape, scrape, tap. And then a voice. I'm still missing one. The others were taken that night, one by one. No screams, just silence, disappearances, emptiness. By morning, it was just me and Mia. We went back to room 13, praying there was a way to undo it. But the room had changed. The chandelier was gone. The walls were covered in claw marks. The bed was fresh, made, and above the headboard, etched in the wood, were 13 names, ours included. Mia lost it. She screamed, tore at the walls, and shattered her phone against the floor. I tried to pull her out of the room, but she stopped. She was staring at the mirror. Her reflection wasn't moving. It just stood there, smiling. Then it blinked. That was the last I saw of her. She didn't vanish. She switched. The reflection stepped out of the mirror, and Mia was gone. I ran. I don't know how, but I found the front door open. Morning light poured in. I didn't stop to question it. I just ran down the street screaming until someone called the police. They found the house empty, no record of the rental listing. No sign of the others, no fingerprints, no room 13. Just me. They said I imagined it, said I must have wandered into an abandoned house. But every mirror I've looked into since shows her, smiling, watching, waiting for me to look too long. So if you ever rent an old house and there's no room 13 on the door, don't try to find it. It will find you.